Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, and if you're new here, my name is Corinne and welcome to my channel. And today I'm going to be filming a video all about my tattoo sleeve, pricing, how long I sat, different sessions, like everything that I get asked on a regular basis as far as my sleeve goes, and then kind of how I planned it out and what I plan to do in the future. So I guess we will start with the very top one. So this tattoo right here is the very first tattoo that I got. I was 19 years old, okay? And I did an entire tattoo regrets video on this piece because I hate it. So if you want to know why I hate this piece, you can go ahead and go watch that video. I'll have it linked down below for you guys so you can check it out if you're interested. I got it in 2 sessions. So I did the black and gray first. My last video, someone called me out for saying black and white. It's not black and white. Sorry, I was meaning white as my skin is white. So this time, I'm gonna correct myself, say it right, black and gray. Okay, I got the black and gray first, and then I went in and did the color. I think I sat for 3 hours when it was just the outlining, so the black and gray. And then I think the color took him about 4 hours. And in total, he only charged me, I think I paid $4.75 for this tattoo, which is really cheap. Like, that is extremely cheap for a tattoo this size. So when I very first got this tattoo right here, my plan was to only have this tattoo. I wasn't going to go ahead and do like a whole sleeve. I wasn't gonna fill my arm. I had no other plans on getting any other sort of tattoo. Like, this was gonna be my half sleeve and that was gonna be it. But about a year went by and I realized that I didn't like the tattoo. And so my thought process was, well, I need to like get a full sleeve so the attention isn't fully on this piece. And when people see my arm, it's just an entire piece, you know? Like, they don't just stare at this one because I hate this one so much. So that was my thought process. About a year went by and Aiden and I, if you don't know who Aiden is, he's my husband, we heard that there was gonna be a tattoo convention in town and we had never been to one. And it was just really exciting. So we're like, okay, let's go. And I had no intentions of getting a tattoo. Not one intention to get a tattoo at all. But I found an artist that I liked, and these are supposed to be peonies, and he had really gorgeous peonies drawn up that he was doing at the convention. So I found what I wanted and I asked him if he had time to do it. He said yes, and I told him the placement. And I told him that I wanted it done on my elbow. He didn't even think twice. He was like, he looked at me, he's like, okay, we'll do it on your elbow. And so my appointment wasn't for about like 2 or 3 more hours, so we kind of just sat around, hung out. And so I started telling people, because they were asking like, are you gonna get any work? Are you getting a tattoo? Like, what are you gonna get? And I was like, yeah, I'm gonna get a peony right on my elbow. And people were like, oh my gosh, you're getting an elbow piece? Like, I had people with full sleeves, like both sleeves done, and their elbow was the only thing that had no tattoo on it. They're like, I would never get my elbow done. That is insane. That's like one of the most painful tattoos that you can get. You're in for it. Like, I don't know what the heck you're doing. Obviously, you're not experienced enough. Like, you have one tattoo on like the easiest part of your body. Like, you're gonna regret it because it's gonna hurt so bad. And I started getting really nervous, but my thought process was like, you know how your elbow is kind of numb? I was like, you know, that area I feel like is pretty tough and seems to be numb. So that was my thought process. Well, obviously I went through with it, and this tattoo ended up being my absolute favorite tattoo to this day. This is my favorite piece that I've ever gotten. It's just so well done. It's beautiful. The detailing in it is gorgeous. Like, I absolutely love this tattoo. I do not regret it at all. So this tattoo, my elbow peony, was done by an artist named Peter Granite on Instagram. I will put his username right here so you guys can check him out. He's from California, so I can only get tattooed by him once a year, and that's when he comes to the convention where I live in Washington State. So I only get to get tattooed by him once a year. So this whole sleeve has taken me like how old am I? 22, started getting tattooed at 19. It's taken me 3 years to fill this arm, okay? And it's not even done yet. I still have this to complete, and I am not excited to get that done. I'm so scared to get that done. Anyways, back to my elbow. The pain level, I sat for about 4 hours, 4.5 hours. The pain level was pretty bad, honestly. Like, it was a pretty bad tattoo, especially him going over my funny bone and things like that, but he's a very caring artist, and he lets you know, like, hey, I'm about to go over a very painful spot, like, take a deep breath, like, are you ready? He's always asking how I'm doing. He's just very caring, a very good tattoo artist. This is gonna be better. I'm literally sitting on my knees now. The pain on this was pretty bad, especially near the end. I was like, okay, like, I am done. I am ready to be done out of this chair. I want this thing finished. And it took around 4.5 hours to do this, because since it's a convention, I had to get the whole piece. I can't just do the outline and then the color, you know, a couple weeks later when the outline is healed. Like, that's how you normally are supposed to get tattoos. But I can't do that because my artist is from California. I only see him for a couple of hours out of the year, and that's it. And we have to utilize those hours and punch out the work basically and get it done. This tattoo was about the same cost-wise as this tattoo, okay? So if you think about it, I got amazing work for about $500, and this is how small the tattoo is, okay? So this should kind of give you an idea as far as artists go. Crappy artist is only gonna charge you $500 for a quarter sleeve, but that's because his work isn't that good, you know? My artist now, my current artist, charged about $500 for this piece right here. So that's how much I paid for this tattoo. It's about $500 for this one. For a whole entire year, I literally just had this done and my elbow, and it just looked so weird. I hated having just randomly placed tattoos, but there's nothing I could do about it because I'm very picky with my artist now, because I hate my first tattoo that I got. So I only want to go to Peter. Another thing about this tattoo is I was told that I was gonna get what's called a swell though, and I did. My elbow was swollen for weeks. I couldn't even bend it, and I worked at a daycare at the time, so it was so hard to be picking up kids. I literally was like this, like in a sling basically the entire time for like 2 to 3 weeks, waiting for the swelling to go down, waiting for it to heal so that I could actually like bend my elbow. It was so bad and so embarrassing. Like, my entire arm was so bad. And I'll insert some photos so that you guys can see how bad it was. It was hilarious, like how swollen it was. But I personally am a huge sweller when it comes to tattoos. Like, I swell horrifically. I didn't swell with this one, and I think it's because we broke it up in 2 different appointments. Like I said, I did the first part and then the second part. But with all of my other tattoos, I have to bust them out and get them done with the time that we have. So I think that's why I didn't swell with my first one and why I swell so bad with all of my other tattoos. So another year goes by, and I tell Peter that I want to do my ditch. And he tells me, you know, for a normal client, I would never do their entire ditch all in one day. Like, he said I would never do that because it's so painful. You have to sit for so long. But he said, because I did so good with my elbow, I sat so well and I got it done, he knows that I was tough enough to be able to get my ditch done no problem. So he said he would do it. I told him I wanted another peony because I love peonies. That's my favorite flower. Obviously, that's why I have literally 4 of them tattooed on my body. And I told him I wanted, you know, pink and orange and yellow, like just a bright, beautiful peony. So that's what we did. I sat, I think for, let's see, this one is a lot bigger than my elbow. So I think I sat for probably about 5 hours for my ditch, and this one costed around $500, I would say, $550. I always tip him 20%. I never remember how much like exactly I pay for my tattoos because I pay in cash and it's like whatever, like here's your cash. But it was about the same price, a little bit more than my elbow was because it took longer and it's a bigger piece. My ditch, pain-wise, oh my gosh, like when my ditch was finally done, I was like, I don't think I can get another tattoo. Like, this is painful. He did have some like numbing spray that he was using on my skin near the end of the tattoo just because he knew it was so painful for me to be sitting there for like 5.5 hours getting my ditch done. So the numbing spray did numb my skin, so I couldn't feel the needle, I couldn't feel the tattooing, but my actual muscle from him like grabbing onto me and like pulling my skin like for 5 hours was bruised. Like my entire arm was bruised just from him touching it. So even though I couldn't feel him tattooing me, I could still feel the bruising of him just constantly like yanking on my arm. But for this one, like I said with my elbow, this one swelled just as bad as my elbow did. Like I literally had another swellbow from my ditch being done. It was so bad. I don't know if I have any swollen pictures of this one. If I do, I'll insert them. But again, it was another one of those instances where I literally was like this all the time because I couldn't bend it because it hurt so bad. This one, I'll actually take off my watch so that you guys can see. This one is my newest one. I just got this in September. It's a chrysanthemum. It fills the rest of my arm, so it's a yellow chrysanthemum. It's super gorgeous. I love it. Going into the tattoo convention this year, I didn't know that I was gonna be filling this much space. Like I had no idea. I thought maybe we would fill half of it and then we would do like another small flower another year or whatever. But when I got there, he was like, nope, let's just fill up this entire space so that you don't have any more space left, you know, like we can just fill it up, we'll get it done. So he had already drawn up a chrysanthemum for me. We started going and I'll show some progress pics on the screen for you so you guys can see it. But this baby took 7 hours. I sat for 7 hours with this one. And I didn't think it was gonna hurt because it's literally your arm. Like this shouldn't be that painful, but it was more painful than my ditch. Like I was in so much pain, it was insane, and it's probably because I sat for 7 hours. When I was getting this one done, I was like, yep, I'm never getting another tattoo. Just like I said with my other one, I was like, nope, never getting another tattoo. It honestly was bad. I sit like a rock. I'm a really good sitter, but it's painful for me. It really is painful for me. I paid about $800 for this piece. That's including tip. I absolutely love this piece. I feel like it just ties everything in. It's beautiful. I love the way that he did it. From this standpoint, it looks like I have a complete full sleeve, but I really don't, because I have all of this space in here that still needs to be filled up. And I am not looking forward to getting this done because this is such thin skin. I just know it's gonna hurt so bad. So I am not looking forward to getting that done. But it bugs me. I hate having this space, like especially from the back when I'm walking, like you can see it and it just bugs me. Like when I'm like this, I'm like, oh yeah, I have a sleeve. Not like it just drives me crazy. So I don't really know what I plan to do with that space. I think I do want to break it up into 2 tattoos just because it's a big space to fill and this is going to be super painful, especially closer to my armpit. All I know is that I want to do something purple and flower related, obviously, because that's what my sleeve is. All in all, let's see, how much did I pay? Let's just round this up to 5, this to 5, this to 5. So right there, that is $1,500 plus 8, which is $2,300. So all in all, my tattoos have costed me about $2,300 for this sleeve. But as far as meaning goes with my tattoos, the only one that has meaning is I have a tiny little verse right here that you can't even see because my artist sucked, but it's Isaiah 43:2, and that means when you walk through deep waters, I will be with you. And I got that verse because at that point in my life, I was going through a really, really rough time family-wise. A lot of things were happening in my life, and I just wanted that to be my life verse at the moment. Like, it's not my entire life verse, but it was like my in the moment life verse, and it was something that reminded me every day when I would look in the mirror, like, okay, like God is with me, he's with me, we're going through this together, he's not leaving me. It's a hard time, but we're gonna get through it. And that's why I have these waves that are all around my tattoo as well, because it corresponds with the water and walking through deep water. So this is the only tattoo that really has meaning. These ones don't have any meaning at all. I just like them. They're beautiful. I love the color. I love color tattoos. and that's why I chose to get them. If you guys have any additional questions, I think I covered the basis as far as how long it took, my pricing, and all of that. But if you guys have further questions, leave them down below for me and I will make sure to answer them for you and get back to you. Once again, I'll put my artist's Instagram right here so that you guys can see his work. He's amazing. If you're in the California area, the whole state of California, go to him because he's an amazing artist. But yeah, so that's it for this video. I hope that you enjoyed it. If you'd like similar videos, if you guys want me to make a video on my husband's tattoos, because he has a lot of tattoos, I would love to do that. And then make sure to follow me on all my social medias. I always put them on the screen for you, and I link them down below as well. And I think that's it, guys. I will see you in the next video. Bye.